Hello and welcome back to another video here with me, Meoni, for Final Fantasy XIV. This time I want to talk about the new resistance weapon step added in patch 5.35. Patch 5.35 came out the other day, and of course we've had a plethora of new stuff to do. First of all, I will just tell you straight off the bat that you need to pick up your next resistance weapon quest if you've carried on with this quest line since the previous tier before you go into the Bosnian Southern Front. Trust me, you will find it way more beneficial. The reason I say that is as soon as you've picked up the resistance weapon quest over here towards Geralt, obviously, and do that plus quest, then the sooner you can start earning the fragments, the memories rather, towards that. If you go straight into the Bosnian Southern Front, which is what I did yesterday, you're in for a bad time, because you're going to have to pick this quest up and go through the whole thing again, as opposed to just killing two birds with one stone. So pick up that quest. It is of course known as For Want of a Memory. This is something you need to have before you go in Bosjar if that's what you're planning to do. Now there are two ways to do this resistance weapon stage this time around. Okay? The first way is through Bosjar itself, and you will occasionally get items from clearing parts of Bosjar, from monsters, from the actual fates, which are called critical engagements and skirmishes, amongst other things as well inside there. They are the tortured memory of the dying, which is from the lower sort of plane, because there's 3 different places inside there. I'll show some footage. There's the second one, which is sorrowful memory of the dying, which is from the second sort of plateau, which you can access after level 5 onwards. And then there's the harrowing memories of the dying, which you can access from resistance level, or rank, as I should be calling it, level 8 and above inside the Bosnian Southern Front. These are pretty low drop rate. This is not the best method for farming these, however you can get them whilst you do the rest of the Bosnian Southern Front. The best way to actually earn these is to go and do Heavensward related fates, and I know what you're probably saying, what does Heavensward have to do with this quest? Well, quite frankly, nothing. It's just a place to put them, and they decided to include them on fates in Heavensward areas. In fact, any Heavensward area will do. The first place I would recommend for you for the tortured memories, these should be acquirable in Coerthas Western Highlands. This is a great place to do it. A lot of people are doing it here as well, and that's where I went to. Okay, that's the best place. Falcon's Nest, go teleport there, go do the fates in that location whilst on this quest to get those. The reason I say do the fates outside in the open world areas rather than doing it in Bosjar is that outside in the open world there are 100% drop rate from the completion at gold rating of each fate. Gold rating very easy to actually do, and there's plenty of people recruiting for fate groups as well. Okay, very simple to do. Inside Bosjar Southern Front, it's about a 1 to 2% chance from what I've seen over 17 hours of streaming it yesterday, and obviously part of today as well because it's 17 hours. It seems about 1 to 2%, which is complete garbage. So if you're after just a resistance weapon, which is the reason why we're making this video, you need to go and do the fates in the open world areas instead. You will thank me later. So the first one, obviously, like I've said, tortured memory. So the yellow ones, you go to Coerthas Western Highlands. Of course, there are other places, but this is where I chose to do mine and how I would recommend. Next up, I would recommend you go to Tailfeather in the Dravanian Forelands. Any fates in the Dravanian Forelands will give you the blue ones, the sorrowful. Okay, nice and easy once again to do, no problems there. And finally, I would recommend to you, because it's nice and it's big and it's open and there's plenty of space, I would recommend to you Azizlar. Where is this on my list? There it is. Yeah, Azizlar in the Helix, the end of Heavensward area. That will give you the harrowing memories of the dying, which are the red ones. Now, you need, for the quest, you need 20 of each of these memories, okay? 20 of each. So 20 of those, 20 of those, and 20 of those. That's the first stage. Nice and simple. If you go and do fates in those areas, you'll have them in no time at all. You can actually complete that stage within an hour, easily. That's how ridiculous this is. So if you're in Bosjar and you're going, oh wow, these things are dropping very slowly, go do the Heavensward Fates instead. I know it's not something I agree with, and this will hopefully change in the future. I personally think, you know, in my opinion, that Bosjar should be the one that drops them more often than the open world areas, but it is what it is. That's how it is, and at the time of recording, that's my recommendation to you. Okay, so let's move on to the second stage of this then, because basically you get your 500 item level weapon from completing that first stage, but to make it glow aesthetically and to complete the next part of the quest, you need to do some dungeons. Now specifically, you can actually either do Bosjar Southern Front, and again you need to get some certain different type of memories, as you can see here. So these are called the Bitter Memories of the Dying. So these are the green ones. Now you can only actually earn these whilst you're on that second quest. One of the tips and tricks I would give you if you wanted to just do this all in one go is to not hand in the quest and keep doing those Heavensward dungeons. After testing, you can do a run of Anti-Tower with 3 of your friends. You have to do these synced in about just under 10 minutes, about 8 to 9 minutes, depending on, you know, if you've got your cooldowns or whatever classes you're using. We went in with a Gunbreaker, Samurai, a White Mage and a Machinist, and we had pretty decent gear, so it synced us. We have to do it synced anyway, but that's the setup. Gunbreaker mostly I would recommend, and Samurai, because they're quite well scaled with their abilities at low levels, like at 60, as opposed to some of the others, like Black Mage, for example, doesn't seem to scale well at level 60, in my opinion, in terms of damage. So you'll have a faster run with stuff like Gunbreaker, Samurais, you know, probably Summoner. Summoner's pretty good actually as well. But anyway, so we're trying to get 6 of these green ones, these Bitter Memories, and once you've done 6 runs of any Heavensward dungeon, then you have completed this stage. And it's as simple as that. Like I say, I would personally recommend the Anti-Tower, but you can run any of the Heavensward introduction, obviously any of Heavensward dungeons at all, but they have to be synchronized. And you have to, obviously, you can't do these unsynced. You can't go and blow through them yourself. So try and get 3 other people that want to do it with you, like I did with my friends, and we blew through this very easily. Once you have those 6, then you go turn those in, or obviously you don't turn them in and you just keep doing it ad infinitum for however many relic weapons you want to earn for. But you cannot earn these green ones from these dungeons if you turn this in. You have to get back to this stage again, which requires you to pick up that stage of a quest, and obviously with a new weapon. So, you know, it makes sense for you to do this all at once, I guess, right? It kills 2 birds with 1 stone. But that's pretty much it, and then you get a glowy weapon. Now, the glowy weapons are obviously the same model when it comes down to it as the original ones. We've previewed all of these before, but just in case you want to see them, let's show them on screen with all of their glows. But yes, I'm quietly confident that I'm looking forward to the next stage. I think that the evolution of these weapons is going to be quite remarkable. I do like the glow effects, and of course these stages are dyeable. Personally, I like the White Mage one because I have a feeling that I'm going to dye the leaves red, like ruby red, to give an autumnal vibe. But it also looks really nice in pure white as well. But as you can see from this footage, a lot of these do look really nice. Some of them are absolutely insane in terms of glow, especially the Machinist weapon. It's turned up all the way to 11 with those graphics. But yeah, let me know what you think about the weapons. Maybe you have a favorite. Maybe you're still going for them all. Let me know how many you've got if you found this helpful. And I'll see you all next time.